IEX, they've ended FY23 on a muted note as it turned in a largely steady Q4. Post-earnings, the management has said the company closed the year with a 5% decline in traded volumes due to sell-side liquidity constraints. Note that its gas exchange arm achieved break-even within a year of operations. How are the volumes shaping up in Q4 and where does the market share stand at now? We're now joined by Mr. S. Goel, the chairman and MD of Energy Exchange, IEX, to discuss the earnings and more. Mr. Goel, morning, and thank you very much for joining in. This is Rima here. That's the first question, right? What are Q1 volumes looking like? Typically, in periods of past power constraint, you've seen your company's volumes benefit. So what are Q1 volumes looking like, and is there any guidance for full year volumes, sir?
Good morning, Rima. Let me first tell you one thing that after 2 years of impressive growth of more than 30%, last year was particularly a challenging year for the company. And it was mainly because of the global energy crisis, because of which the imported coal price, LNG prices were very, very high. They increased by almost 2 to 3 times. In the domestic market, the coal supply was higher, but then most of the coal was supplied to the power purchase agreement power plants. And coal for the market was lower. E-auction prices increased by almost 3 times. Our clearing price was higher as a result of all this, which was about ₹5.95. Because of that, volumes were lower. I mean, they were almost 5% lower with respect to last year. But good thing is, this year is appearing to be a promising year. Government of India also has taken many initiatives to ease out these supply side constraints. Coal production has improved. Again, in the month of April, coal production was 9% more, whereas demand was in fact 1% lower than last year because of the cold weather which is there, particularly in the month of April and May this year. And in 2 months, our volume is almost about 6% higher than last year. So we expect this year to be much better than last year. For the full year basis, I think volume growth of in 2 digits, that should be easily possible. I mean, we are targeting at least 15% growth.
Okay. So April-May volume growth is 6%. For FY24, yes, sir, the volume growth will be closer to 15%, right?
Yes, right. Yeah.
What are the current prices, current pricing right now?
Current prices are almost 40% lower than what it was last year. They are less than ₹5 now, almost ₹4.50.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Goel. Thank you for joining us. This is Pavitra. Can you take us through where your current market share stands? I'm just trying to understand, if what kind of impact you've seen of newer entrants also in the market. So what has been the change in your market share for this period for FY23?
Yeah, in a power exchange market, in fact, the day-ahead market and the RTM market where the collective transaction happen, these are the 2 main market segments. In these market segments, our volume is 100%. Our market share is 100%. And then there are term-ahead market where the price matching happens. And because of that, I think in that segment, the other 2 exchanges also have some market share. Our overall market share is almost about 89% today. And going forward, I'm sure this should improve to 90 to 93% in this year.
Mr. Goel, hi, good morning, sir. Tell us a bit about this transaction fee that has been levied, this 2 paisa per kilowatt hour. How is this impacting your business? I think the street is just trying to understand how this will play out.
So see, we have been charging 2 paisa transaction fees from other side right from 2011, and there is no change in this transaction fees. Only thing is we wanted, as per the regulations, a regulatory approval was required for this. We had filed our petition and the Honorable CRC has approved the existing transaction fees. So there is no impact of that on the business.
So the other exchanges can also now levy this transaction fee, I believe, right?
Yeah. This is, I mean, a transaction fees up to 2 paisa can be charged. So within 2 paisa, exchanges can play.
Does it have any role in terms of moving business? I mean, IEX is a huge exchange when it comes to power. But is there any fear of loss of business? Does it impact your volumes in any way?
See, earlier our market share used to be 94-95%. This year it has come down to 89%. So there is definitely some impact, but no significant impact in the main market segments, which is day-ahead and RTM market. And going forward, as I told you, we expect to improve the market share to 92% this year.
So you said that your market share used to be closer to 95%. It's come down to 89%. Can you tell us the market share which is enjoyed by the other two exchanges, Power Exchange India Limited and the new one, Hindustan Power Exchange?
I think the balance 11% is distributed among these two.
Okay. All right. And what makes you confident that you will be able to reclaim your market share and improve it to 92, 93%?
Yeah, there was one issue about the transmission pricing. And there was some arbitrage available in the term ahead market, because of which the volume shifted to the term ahead market from day ahead market, which has been corrected by the regulator. And as a result of that, the volume will shift back to the day ahead market, where our market share is 100%. So, because of that, I'm sure the volume, our shares would increase to 92% this year.
On a side note, Mr. Goel, I remember, I think this was March or so, just when the summer was starting, the government had taken a very proactive stance by telling all, I think imported coal-based power plants, if I remember correctly, that they need to operate at 100% capacity with a complete pass-through of prices. I remember the expectation at that point was that there'll be a lot of power generation. They were allowed to sell all the surplus power on the exchange. That should have led to, big volumes on the exchange for you as well, but that's not happened. So what is your expectation in terms of power generation and in the short term, at least let's say in Q2, in terms of the volumes that you'll do on the exchange?
In fact,
volumes and pricing, both actually.
Government has taken many initiatives to meet the growing demand in the country. One was that the direction under Section 11 was issued that all imported coal-based power plants will operate and supply power under the PPA. If the PPA beneficiary is not taking power, then they can sell in the market. So since PPA beneficiaries themselves are taking the power has not come to the market, but the generation has improved definitely. Government also took an initiative for supplying power from the gas-based plants during the high demand period. And that power was to be sold through the exchange. So that power has been sold through the exchange, and we are seeing some positive impact of that. Pulling down our price and increasing the volume because of that. Third thing is domestic coal production itself is increasing. So the result of all this thing is that in the first 2 months, our prices have reduced by 40%, volumes have increased. And I'm sure the trend, from June when the monsoon starts, hydro generation also will pick up. And that will have a positive impact on the generation and our volumes also.
Okay, got that. Just one final question, Mr. Goel. Can you tell us where things are on the carbon exchange and what is the kind of timeline that you have in mind for that?
Yeah, carbon exchange, we are exploring the business opportunity because in this market, the transactions will happen. The buyers are mostly in the international market. So the dollar transactions will happen. So we are exploring this option, whether we should have exchange in the gift city or in India. So maybe in the next 2-3 months, we intend to start operations on this after resolving these issues.
Okay, just a quick question, which sort of, we've been getting from the street. Would you, sir, be aware of any discussions with the Dalmia Group if they want to offload some stake in the entity in IEX? Would you be aware of any such developments or possibilities?
I read this in the newspaper. I discussed with them, and as of now, they have no such intention.
Dalmia Group is not looking to sell its stake in IEX.
Yeah, not at the moment.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Appreciate you joining in, Mr. Goel. That's IEX at the end of the fourth quarter. We have to take a very quick break. On the other side, we will come back with